Today I'm going to be showing the spread players and enchant commands. We're going to start with enchant, and at the timestamp on screen right now will be when we are going to go to spread players. So let's get started. For the enchant command, it is a command used to just enchant whatever the player is holding. So if I grab a few swords here, if I can click properly, bow, crossbow, another bow, and this is enchant at P, which is the closest player, at A is all players, at E all entities, which is all mobs and such, nearest player, random player, current entity, and then you could also just put in the name of the player, which is what I will do. Next you do the enchant. So unbreaking vanishing curse is curse of vanishing, or whatever it's called. Some of these things might be named slightly different, like that, but most of the time it will just say the exact name just with underscores instead in place of spaces. So we'll just do sharpness, which I just hit tab to autocomplete, and then you put in the level. So if I do sharpness, there can be level 1, a level 2, level 3, all the way up to level 5. So I'll just do level 2, hold this sword, click the button, and it just enchanted the thing that I was holding with sharpness 2. If I do sharpness 5 and click the button, and I got sharpness 5. If I try to do sharpness 6 and hold a weapon and click the button, it will not work and will give me the error. 6 is higher than the maximum level of 5 for the sharpness enchant. And if you do 0, it will work, but it will do literally nothing. So it's not worth doing 0. So this is useful for, I really have no idea what this is useful for. You could always just also grab an anvil and an enchantment book and do that. If you try to enchant something like sharpness on a bow or something that doesn't work, it just does not, it just does not work. Bow cannot support that enchantment. This is power, level 5. I press the button, it works. If I try it on crossbow, it doesn't work because crossbow cannot support that enchantment. But it does work for the bow. If you are holding, let's say, a weapon that says power or sharpness 2, let's say, and then I try to change it to sharpness 3, click the button, nothing happens. I try to change it to sharpness 1, nothing will happen. It used to be, I believe, last time I messed with this command, I'm pretty sure if you did the level as 1 and click and activated it, it would put sharpness 1 on the weapon, and then if you do it again, then it adds a level. So if you're using a older version of Java, it may or may not work like that, but that will conclude the enchant command, which is quite a simple command. Onto spread players. The spread player command can be used to do exactly what it says, spread the players within a radius. These commands, for the sake of this tutorial, the target is all entities with the spread me tag, meaning that I can choose what it spreads, like literally anything with that tag it will spread or target for the command, allowing me to simulate as if there were a ton of players in the game with armor stands. So as you can see, I just hit that button and just spread these players throughout this area just randomly, and I said players, armor stands, sorry. Normally you'd use players, but I'm just using armor stands to show that how it works and such. Hey, this is future me. Quick side note, if you want to know how I did the tag thing that allows me to target any entity, which is a mob player, that has that specific tag, simply add this when you summon the entity, or use this with a target to add the tag to that target. Then this is how you target the entities with the tag that you added. Also note that if you add spaces to a tag, it won't work unless you add some things that it's just a lot easier to not add, just for simplicity's sake. Back to the video. So how it works is you do spread players, you do the center position. So this block right here is -220 and then -45. You do not put in the y coordinate. -220, -45. Then the next number is the max distance, or the minimum distance between players. So if I press this button to get rid of all of them, and I summon two armor stands, wrong command block, and do a number 2, there is 2 blocks, or at least 1 block of space between these 2 entities. And there always will be every single time I press the button, as you can see. If I do 1 block, then it will be 1 block of space every time. And if there are too many entities to put into the space without with having that 1 block of space, then it will simply it will simply not work. As you can see, those are still there. If you do 0, then it just, if there's too small of an area to hold that many players, then some of them will just have multiple in the same position. So that's that. So that's for the spread distance. Max range is just the max range. You can't do 0; it doesn't work. One is 1 block. So from this position, 1 block in every direction. So that's the max and minimum. The minimum is 0, being 0. False is to respect teams, which there is the choice to do under instead of true or false, which I will explain in a minute. Respect teams, basically, if it's false, then it will just put the players wherever. And if it's true, then what it's supposed to do is it is supposed to put everyone that is on the same team, so /team or whatever, in the same spot with the spread distance between the players, or between the teams. But it does not work with entities. This lever summons an armor stand with this spread me tag, so that it targets it on one team, and this one summons it on a different team, and yet they all are put into the same position. There's nothing I could do to fix this, so just know that it works. If there were 3 players in the game, 2 of them being on team red and 1 of them on team blue, and you used the true value with a number 10 for spread distance, then the 2 players on the one team will be teleported into the same position, and then 10 blocks away from that position, all the players on the other team would be placed. Onward to the next part. Next is just the targets, which is just at E, nearest player, random player, all entities, all players, or just the name of the player, whatever you want to do. Ignore if you don't know what this means, tag equals spread me or whatever. Just know that it allows me to do this with armor stands instead of players, and that it prevents it from being just every single entity in the game. Next is the under here. So if I do /spread players, I do the position. Let's just do my current position, my player's current position. I do, let's say, one block between players, or whatever the targets are, and then I do 5 blocks. And now, instead of doing true or false, I do under. Now I can do another number, and then I put in the respect teams, true or false, and then the targets. It's if you want to put, you can't do false and then under after that. It doesn't work. You have to do under first, then the number, then the true or false or whatever. So what it does is it gives you a max height. So if I do 56, then that is the y coordinate 56. Right now I'm at 54. If I go up one, now I'm at 55. Now I'm at 56. Under basically makes it so that they can only be teleported to blocks on y level 56, or on top of blocks that are at under y level 56. So it will teleport the entities onto a block that is under y level 56. So this is y level 56, so the block under it is 55, so they could be teleported here simply because the block that I'm being teleported on top of is under the y level, or they could be teleported on top of this block or on top of this block. So if I press this button, you'll see no matter how many times I press it, they'll be teleported up there sometimes, and up here sometimes on this block, which is at y level 55. But they will never be teleported onto a block above that. You can see. This one is under 60, so this is y level 60 right here, so any block below it, so just anywhere in this square. And as you can see here, I do max range 4, spread distance 1 between the one block between the players, 4 blocks from the coordinates. So this is one block, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just this entire square here. And then under 60, so it could just be teleported onto any block in that area. If I continue to press it, then eventually, there you go, there's one higher than the limit 56 that I put in this command block. If you do like 200 or whatever, then it'll just put it on top of any block below the y level 200, which is way up there. So I'll just leave it at 60. How about 61 for now? It really doesn't matter that much for this specific command. Anyways, on to the last one. This just has true instead for respect teams. So, which I cannot show because of it not working with entities and only working with players. If I do this, they're all just going to go to the same spot. I hope you all could get something out of this video. I thank you all for watching, or whoever's watching this. I'll see you again in another video.